Roads for more than 6,000. But the spirit of adventure, we've had that forever. Rediscover your spirit.
So we're back now racing here. Well, not racing just yet, actually. We're going to go qualifying once again because, of course, we had to set the field up here for the Dsbk National Championship. If you just joined us, hello and welcome to the Dubai Autodrome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're joining us on the live stream, we really appreciate your company. We'll be live throughout the weekend. Yes, we've got a number of series running here this weekend, but of course, it's going to be a fantastic day of racing. We're officially back for the 23-24 season. We've already gone racing 2 weeks ago down the Yas Marina circuit, but we're back here at the Dubai Autodrome using the national circuit configuration, 3.56 kilometers in length, and it of course features the iconic club link, where I can guarantee you a lot of the action is going to happen. Well, in our first qualifying session already, turn 9 has been the one where a lot of drivers have been pinged. Even in our previous session we just had, which was the warm-up, a lot of drivers were pinged through turn 9 and having lap times being deleted completely and invalidated. Of course, turn 6 and 16 I've also seen have now been shown up on our screen for a number of cars as well. So if you're here at the Dubai Autodrome, welcome to a lovely weekend. And if you want to come over from the grandstand, you can do. We've got a fabulous atmosphere on the other side in the paddock area here. We've got food trucks, we've got a fantastic atmosphere, and it's a great family-friendly environment. You can get close up to the cars, the teams, and the personnel, and it's an incredible experience down here, as it is each and every weekend. So the next session that we'll have here will be qualifying for the Dsbk National Championship, which have returned once again. It's one of the most exciting championships that we have here in the United Arab Emirates, and they've got a new title sponsor as well. Our Yusuf Motors have joined the fray, which is fantastic to see our Yusuf Motors jumping on board here and getting involved in one of the most exciting series here in the United Arab Emirates. So you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, now we're focusing on the bike right there. That's the Walid Al-Shami's Racing Martin Verganek. He was the champion last year, well, defending champion actually, because he's come back to defend his crown. And of course, well, he did a sprint overseas in Europe, and well, he's a very, very quick man, and it's going to be very exciting to see what he can do here this weekend. We've got some familiar faces. We've got some new riders here this season as well. We've got Seed Al Soleti, who's joined us here racing for VME Valves in his modified series. Now, before we get through the whole list of drivers that we have here for qualifying, let's see who we have in terms of classes, because we've actually got two classes. We've got modified, we've got super stock. Yes, we do have modified and super stock, but we've also got the rookie categories as well. We've got most of the rookies are actually in the super stock category. We have Mohamed Bagadalag on his Kawasaki, and then of course we have the Black Fox Racing number 21, Rodion Yashkov, who's joined us this season. Mohamed Samshir on his Honda is a rookie as well on the 39 bike. Hussein Balat is here as well on Saxo, number 49, and our last rookie is Tom Robson. Everybody else here has at least had some experience in the championship and have returned for this season. The 23-24 season now officially underway for the first time. We didn't see them racing down the Yas Marina circuit, but here we are at the Dubai Autodrome using the club circuit, the national circuit with the club link, and we're about to go qualifying here to set the field up for this 25-minute session. Quite a long one, actually. We only had 20 minutes for the Gulf Radical Cup, but 25 minutes of qualifying now coming your way for what is one of the most exciting racing series here in the United Arab Emirates. We've got a total of 17 riders that will take to the track. I think we should have 18 riders. I'm not sure where the 18th rider is at the moment, but hopefully we do get all 18 out there on track. The first bikes are now starting to peel off the pit lane. Some last-minute checks underway. Keeping the tyres nice and warm down there in the pit lane as well. Although it is, the sun is still shining, it's still not warm enough for those tyres to be up to temperature right from the get-go. So, of course, tyre warmers in full effect here. We see once again Martin Verganek there just preparing himself. Actually, that's his teammate that will lead Al-Shami's Racing's, that should be Firas Abu Ghanem there preparing himself. Indeed it is, of course, because he is blazing the number 33. Another quick rider to follow as well here. But Martin Verganek, what can he do here in the opening stages of qualifying? Will he be the fastest man out there, or have some of our veterans of the championship found some speed and found what they need to try and dethrone Martin Verganek here around the Dubai Autodrome? So We're now into the session. We've got a number of riders now that are currently out on track. We'll see the first couple of them make their way across the start-finish line, of course, to complete their flying lap. And then, of course, we will be qualifying officially. Now, who will it be on top of the timesheets in 25 minutes' time? I'm going to hazard a guess and say Martin Verganek, but with the talent that's in the field, I don't think I should count Martin Verganek as pole sitter just yet, because, of course, we've got 25 minutes to sort all of this out here. So the first times are starting to come in at least through the sectors, and the first bikes now working their way across the line. And it looks like Martin Verganek is the first one there across the line for Walid Al-Shamius Racing and on the number 4 in the modified category. Now, how it works, as we said, we've got two categories of riders here. We've got modified and we've got super stock. So they do race in two separate categories. They can contest for the overall if they really want to, but of course they are segregated into their own categories. So it's a race within a race for them. But of course they do have separate podiums as well, which we'll have later on today. And of course we have the Rookie Cup as well that are here with us. So quickest through on the flying lap there through Sector 2 and Sector 3 was the VME Valve Saeed Al Salati, who was quickest through that on the number 11. So let's see what he can do here in the next 25 minutes around the Dubai Autodrome, as more riders now work their way across the line and out of pit lane as well. We've got more drivers currently still sat in the pit lane, just waiting for the track to clear up as well, just looking for that prime opportunity to make sure they've got no one in front of them and no one behind them as well here around the Dubai Autodrome. Of course, qualifying is key. It's crucial to get that starting position that you want. And of course, well, pole position is the most ideal place to start. It is, well, that's what everyone is fighting for here right now in this 25-minute session. Quite quiet on track, actually. We've almost lapped 5 minutes. We've only seen a few bikes come across the line. We've not seen an official lap time in just yet. We've seen the flying laps completed. We've seen some quick times already. But Martin Verganek's gone quickest through Sector 1 and Sector 2, and here he is across the line. What will he put down this time round to go purple first of all? A 131.394 that time. Manuel Parra, who returns to the championship, a 132.812 across the line. Personal best through Sector 2 and Sector 3, but he is 1.4 seconds off of Martin Verganek for the time being. Now, the rest of the field now will start to follow across the line as well. Here we go. We've got 3 riders, make that 5 riders now, all making their way across the line. A 133.747 there for VME Valve's Saeed Al Salati. Let's see what he can do, because he's 9/10 of a second back from the Rough Moto number 34 here at the Dsbk National Championship. Across the line now comes another rider, but that is his flying lap he's just completed. That's Mohammed on the number 12, who's just completed his first lap. We've got a rider already in the pit lane as well. So was that Firas Abou-Ghanem across the line? No, that was Martin Verganek who's gone across the line with 131.394. Similar bikes, just the number is different, and of course the jumpsuit that they're wearing is different. But Martin Verganek there, a 131.394, still 1.4 seconds up the road from his closest rival, the Rough Moto number 34. Ratchet Racing's Yuri Nekrasov has come into the pit lane. He returns to the championship this season as well, looking for championship gold here, as Mohamed Shamshir is now the fastest rookie so far with a 144.330, as out goes Yuri Nekrasov once again on the Ratchet Racing at number 20. Out the pit lane he goes. Now it looks like Firas Abou-Ghanem's gone through the final corner as he comes across the line now. Now let's see what he can do this time round. Will he improve? How far up the order does Firas Abou-Ghanem go? Well, he's not done a full lap, and actually that was Florian Belandu who's come across the line on the 55 bike there on the modified. So there actually now is 3 Walid Al-Shamius Racing bikes, as Firas Abou-Ghanem there across the line goes third fastest there, 9/10 of a second back from second place at the moment, Manuel Parra. And of course, well, he's 3.4 seconds off of the defending champion's time at the moment. We're just getting into things here. The things are starting to get warm up here at the Dubai Autodrome in this Dsbk National Championship qualifying session. As we said, a 25-minute session here as more times are coming in. So Black Fox's Rodion Yaskov has come across the line in 6th position overall in this qualifying session. Matteo Monero, Graham Purvis has also put a lap time in, a 140.105 there for Graham Purvis, just behind Monero. As Florian there across the line on the 55, down now into 5th position, after being bumped down by his teammate Firas Abou-Ghanem, who has it in them to try and take pole position away from Walid Al-Shamius Racing's Martin Verganek, because again he's gone quicker. A 2.5 second gap now is what splits the front row here. Now if you're new to motorcycle racing here, well, it works a little bit differently because we won't have 2 vehicles on the front of the row of the grid. We'll actually have 3 vehicles on the front row of the grid, and they'll all line up in rows of 3. So we'll actually have, at the moment, if the session would end right now, we'd have the modified number 4, the Superstock number 34, and the modified number 11 all sharing that front row, all on their Yamaha R6s. There'll be Martin Verganek, Manuel Parra, and Cedar Soleti, who are currently sharing that front row of the grid so far, separated by 3.2 seconds through that top 3. That's just how quick so far out of the box Walid Al-Shami's Racing's Martin Verganek has been already. But let's see what he can do now as Saeed Al-Salati now goes second fastest to bring himself 1.5 seconds behind Martin Verganek. And, well, Firas Abu Ghanem has come into the pit lane. He's currently 4th overall as Manuel Parra up now, down into 3rd position after VME Valves number 11 moves up into 2nd position overall. Could Martin Verganek do across the line? There, 1:31.37. That's still his quickest so far. Well, he's actually gone 1 faster as well that time round. He's now 1.5 seconds, close to 1.6 seconds up the road from the Saeed Al-Salati number 11 at the moment. The top 3 separated by 1.9 seconds, an improvement as well from Rough Moto's Manuel Parra, who did a 1:32.042 that time round. As more riders now make their way across the line, as Firas Abu Ghanem now out of the pit lane. So a slight tweak there, a slight adjustment to see if he can catch the back of his teammate. Of course, is the number 4 of Martin Verganek. His other teammate just behind him, and actually they'll share that row as Yuri Nekrasov now goes 5th fastest to slot himself on the 2nd row of the grid. Now, Martin Verganek has come into the pit lane after going quickest through sector 3 that time round. So he'll settle in for a quick stop for the pit lane, but still nestled in to the top spot. 1.5 seconds to the good so far of his closest rival, Walid Al-Salati, at the moment. Now, what can C do now with the current pole sitter out? Well, the pole sitter is in. VME Valves number 11, Saeed Al-Salati, and Manuel Parra now all in the pit lane. So our top 3 currently sat in the pit lane, just biding their time here, making a few tweaks here and there, a few adjustments just to get that extra bit of speed where they can. As Adrian loses places here down into 11th position here on the 4th Walid Al-Shami's Racing bike, the number 73. That was Track Dynamics Matteo Manero across the line, or his RS660, the Aprilia there. And I have noticed we only have 1 Ducati. And I wonder now as well, is this the first championship, first round of the championship in a while that we don't have a lot of Ducatis on the field? We're missing Sasuke Totaro, a former champion. We hope to see him sometime soon. As Johan Gauss there across the line in 12th overall. They've got 2 bikes now across the line. Do they make improvements? Or Ratchet Racing's Yuri Nekrasov still on that 3rd row of the grid, as Mohamed Samshir and Mohamed Bakardagh also down into 13th and 15th respectively at the moment, so they're at the tail end of the field for the time being. We've got a rider who is now making his way out of the pit lane. Now, who will that be? It'll be one of our top 3 though. It'll either be the 4, 11 or 34 here. And it is the VME Valves Saeed Al-Salati modified number 11 that is making his way out of the field, out of the pit lane, excuse me. Now, what can he do while Martin Verganek and Manuel Parra sit in the pit lane? Can Saeed find 1.5 seconds somewhere around the track? It looks to be sector 2 is where he's losing the most amount of time, actually through sector 1 as well. He lost almost 2 seconds last time out when they were on track just before. Now, Manuel Parra is still sat in the pit lane for the time being. Martin Verganek certainly quick through those sectors. It's as fast as at least a second through each sector. He has at least through sector 1 and sector 3, a little bit closer through sector 2. But both Manuel Parra and Saeed Al-Salati need to find some time through those sectors if they want to get anywhere closer to that pole position. So So we're fast approaching the halfway distance. Two bikes currently in the pit lane. That is the pole sitter and the man that will share the front row with him as well, Manuel Parra. But the man that was sitting between the two of them is back out and circulating once again and looking to improve his position, trying to find 1.5 seconds or more. At the moment, make it 1.6 seconds he needs to find. Somewhere out there through Sector 1 and Sector 3, he certainly can find that time as we've officially elapsed the halfway point here. Al Salati now across the line. Now that's his outlap from the pit lane. Now what can he do through Sector 1, 2 and 3 this time round? He needs to find 1.6 seconds while Verganek and Parra sit in the pit lane. Firas Abou-Ghanem still in 4th position for the time being. Yuri Nekrasov lining up in 5th, and then Florian there on the 55, currently in 6th position at the moment. More bikes work their way across the line, but no improvement. Track dynamics as Graham Purvis though loses time. 1:39.276 drops him down to 11th overall, just outside now the top 10. But he will start on the 4th row of the grid, because remember it is different here when it comes to motorcycle racing. We have 3 vehicles on the rows instead of just 2. And it makes things very, very interesting, especially when you go down towards turn 1. You have to do it with 1 extra vehicle, you have to do it with 2 extra vehicles when you're diving down to the inside through the right-hander. Now, Saeed Al Salati has done a 45.089 through Sector 1, but he needs to find more time than that. He's got to find it through Sector 2 and Sector 3 if he wants to get that pole position away from Martin Verganek. Through Sector 2, but again almost a second slower compared to the pole sitter at the moment. Just can't quite find the time. Now into the pit lane have come a number of drivers. The riders, excuse me. The 20 has come in, is that the 36 that's come in as well. So it's the 18, excuse me, that's come in. So Ratchet Racing's Yuri Nekrasov is in. The modified Johan Gauss is in as well from 5th and 12th respectively on track. And across the line has gone Saeed Al Salati, but he's done a 1:32.848. He needs to find at least another 2.8 seconds if he wants to be in pole position. And more riders deciding to come into the pit lane. We've still got plenty of time left on the clock. We've got 10 minutes of action here around the Dubai Autodrome. Here is the 55 now across the line, but that's not a quick lap time there at all when he's come across that time round. And he's still settling in for 6th position at the moment. That's the 2nd row of the grid. And more importantly, that's the inside of the row as well. There's more riders there across the line, but we're still looking for the VME Valves number 11. Saeed Al Salati, because he's still of the top 3, still the one that's circulating. Ratchet Racing's Yuri Nekrasov has gone out. Currently sat 1.8 seconds behind Walid Hashemi's Firas Abou-Ghanem, but will share that row with him. Now more riders are coming in. So we've got now Black Fox's number 21 is in, Track Dynamics 29 is in. Graham Purvis is out still. The 73 is in the pit lane. Hussein Bolat is in the pit lane as well, excuse me, in the 14th position overall for Saxo. See there across the line with a 1:31.756, edging closer to his personal best, but still not close enough to Martin Verganek to snatch pole position away. 9 minutes remaining on the clock here around the Dubai Autodrome to set the field up here for our first race of the weekend for the Dsbk National Championship here at the Dubai Autodrome. The first round of the season as well for the 23-24 season. And great to be back here racing once again on 2 wheels. It's a jam-packed race weekend here at the Dubai Autodrome. We've got a lot of action from not just the Dsbk National Championship, but of course Golf Pro Car and Golf Radical Cup. And is now through the final corner now. Is this the number 55? I think it is. Yes, it is across the line. Is there an improvement there from Florian? No. Still settles in for 6th position at the moment. Has not improved, but he was quicker. No, was he? No, he wasn't. It was the Numix Automotive bike that was quickest there, and they've just gone 6th fastest as well, as we talk about that, because he did a personal best on the previous lap, and Tom Robson has now done another personal best this time round of 1:35.484 to go 6th fastest. So that bumps the 55 now down to the 3rd row of the grid. Kusov across the line there, no improvement yet, has not found his way onto the front row of the grid. They're still settling in for second for the time being. Through sector 2 has gone Saeed Al-Salati. Now he's come across the line now on the VME Valves number 11, but no improvement there. A 1:35.775, and actually that's 4 seconds slower than his personal best, so he's losing time now here on track. Session continues on. We're winding down now into the final 7 minutes here of our 25-minute session for qualifying of the Dsbk National Championship, to set the field up to see who will be on the front row of the grid. And by the looks of it, it'll be Martin Verganek here, who has been mighty quick out of the box. He's been sat in the pit lane for quite some time as well, and he's 1.5 seconds clear of his closest rival of Saeed Al-Salati, who's currently circulating and trying to find that time. Well, he's just at a personal best through sector 1 as well, has the number 11, and he's currently working his way through sector 2 at the moment. What can he do through that second sector? Can he find some more time? He's clawing back on Martin Verganek for the time being. A 29.230. Not a significant amount of time, but it's quicker than his previous lap. Just over 6 minutes remaining, so Saeed Al-Salati still has a lot of time left on the clock. Here he comes across the line now with a 1:31.740. And Martin Verganek now has decided, well, he doesn't want anyone getting anywhere close to his time, so he's gone back out on the number 4 to try and increase that gap between himself and second position here, with less than 6 minutes to go on the clock. What can he do now in the closing stages of this qualifying session for the Dsbk National Championship? We're setting up the field here. Martin Verganek, Saeed Al-Salati and Manuel Parra. Parra currently still in the pit lane in third. He's 0.2 of a second up the road from his closest rival of Firas Abu Ghanem. Firas is still circulating. He's just come back out as well by the looks of it. He's just at a 2:54.080 that time round. As Florian does a 1:35.539 at that time round, a personal best for him in 7th overall. Still away from that second row of the grid though for the time being. Adrian across the line there in 11th position still on the Yamaha R6. Will line up on the 4th row of the grid, but here comes Martin Verganek through the final corner. Of course, on his outlap at the moment as he's across the line. He's at the pit lane there for 11 minutes. It's just, I think it's just biding his time. We've got a rider off by the looks of it now. Is that through turn 16? And the bike is still moving. Yes, it is through turn 16. So I think he's just gone off into the runoff area. But that's okay, that won't halt the session too much. And that was just after Martin Verganek came through. Now, Saeed Al-Salati has come across the line as well, but no improvement at 1:41.320 that time round. Unfortunately for Saeed, he's getting slower at the moment. And that's not what he needs here in the last 4 minutes of the session. He needs to pick up the pace if he wants to get closer to Martin Verganek. Still sat in second for the time being. And he'll line up alongside Verganek and Manuel Parra. Quickest through sector 1, Martin Verganek this time through. What can he do through the second sector here? As across the line now comes the Black Fox Rodion Yashkov on the 21. Followed by a Walid Al-Shami's Racing number 55 that time round. As there went Firas Abu Ghanem, a personal best of 1:32.072, but 1.9 seconds back from his teammate, number 4, who is setting the field up here. Now, is that Verganek across the line? No, that wasn't. That was Florian there across the line. We've not seen Verganek come through, and he's just done it now. A 1:29.857 that time round. 1.5 seconds still ahead of his closest rival, the VME Valves, Saeed Al-Salati, who's looking for more time, but unfortunately he's losing time to the man on pole position, the man we're looking at right there, who's trying to figure something out there on the left-hand side of the bike there. Did he maybe push a bit too hard on that lap? Now 2.5 minutes left on the clock. We've got enough time at least for 2 laps here. I don't think we'll see another lap from Martin Verganek though, after what we just saw on screen. The gap now has gone up to 1.8 seconds as the number 20 now makes its way down from Ratchet Racing. Yuri Nekrasov down through the first corner now, looking to improve as well. Currently sat in 5th position overall. That put him in the middle of row 2. And of course, he'd like to be a little bit further up the road. He's currently 1.2 seconds behind Firas Abouganem, who's now just within 3/100th of a second behind his closest rival, and well, the third position on the front row of the grid, and that's between Manuel Parra, who's currently in the pit lane. Now, no, just say, did Martin Verganek just get another quick time? And then no, he didn't, because he's done a 58.2 through sector 1. Well, he's continuing on with this lap here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come into the pit lane. As across line there comes the 73. Now into the pit lane has come the pole sitter. No, that's Firas Abouganem who's come in from 4th on track to line up in 2nd. And there he is on screen, Firas Abouganem for Walid Al-Shamias. Now, who is coming in this time round? As I think this is now the closing stages, less than a minute left on the clock now officially. So the 73 there had a bit of an issue and has gone off, and unfortunately that will ruin his lap time here. And that was Adrian there who went off by the looks of it. That was through sector 2 as well, more bikes, excuse me, nesting themselves into their pit boxes here. And that was Firas Abouganem. I think session done. He will start from the 2nd row of the grid unless anything changes here. Martin Verganek is back into the pit lane. Saeed Al-Sulaiti is in the pit lane as well, 1.8 seconds back. And Manuel Parra, who will share the front row of the grid for the time being with those 3, as Florian now moves his way up back onto the 2nd row of the grid, moving past Tom Robson that time round. There is the number 34 there of Manuel Parra, taking a long deserved break there after putting his bike on the 1st row of the grid. As the checker flag waves, let's see what Yuri Nekrasov and the rest of the field can do here, because we still have a handful of bikes still circulating. I wonder if Yuri Nekrasov can do anything about it. Well, he's not done a personal best through sector 1, so I think he has to discount that, and he'll have to settle in for the 2nd row of the grid alongside Firas Abouganem. So the checker flag waves. We'll wait for the last riders to make their way across the line here at the Dubai Autodrome in our of a conclusion here for our 25-minute session of the Dsbk National Championship. There's no personal best so far shown on screen through any of the sectors, so I think this might be the final positions, at least provisionally for the time being. We'll get an update later on. There's Martin Verganek testing the brakes there with his team. Quickest man out there with a 1:29.857 for Martin Verganek, back for another titled events here. So let's have a look at some wonderful shots and highlights from Dsbk National Championship. So the highlights will be shown up on screen as the last couple of riders will work their way across the line here for the Dsbk National Championship. Just 2 more riders to come across the line. It'll be the 86 and 21 of Tom Robson and Rodion Yashikov, but I don't think either of the 2 have it in store at the moment to work their way anyway up the order. There is the 73, and well, why don't we check out some highlights now.